What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another video centered around sports betting. I know some of the older subscribers are probably like, oh, you're back, but you're making sports betting videos as opposed to Magic the Gathering content. Yes and no. Yes, in the fact that I am making sports betting videos, and honestly, it's mostly just for fun, just because I've been betting for 2 years straight now, and like it's been going pretty well. I'm not like rolling in dough to the point where I can like take a part-time job or something like that, but I've had some good returns, and you know, I just like talking about it for some, I don't know, something, a new hobby, I guess. Um, and as for Magic the Gathering, anybody who's here for that, I do have one video in the works that's taking me some time just because I'm trying to put a lot of effort into it, which is my opinion slash thoughts on the game where it currently stands right now. But yeah, so I'm trying to get that done as soon as I have time, which I don't really have that much personal time. It's actually a miracle that I have time to even make this video. But anyway, for those of you who are here for the sports betting, all right, let's get right into it. So first and foremost, all of these are just bets that I am considering making myself, or I have already made myself. I'm not going to sit here and say, oh, this looks good, but then I don't end up playing it. I can say with almost 100% certainty that everything that I recommend here is something that I am most likely going to bet myself, unless something big happens. Like on Sunday, I went with the Ravens because I was hearing rumors that Deshaun Watson, even though he was going to suit up, he was not going to play because I believe they're on the bye this week. So they didn't want to risk it. Yeah, they're on the bye this week, so they didn't want to risk him re-injuring himself. So I was like, okay, well, let me go with the Ravens -3.5, and we all know how that went. So, first thing we got is Bears Commanders. Now, with all these games, man, before I make like any solid like picks or anything like that, the first thing I do is I always check the injury report. I monitor that 24/7, especially after, I mean, injuries on teams can literally derail entire games for teams. Just look at this past Monday night with the Giants. Their entire offensive line went down with injuries. Even before that, they were missing some people, and it showed like a sore thumb. They just got their ass whipped at the line of scrimmage each and every play, and that pretty much limited them to like a subpar offense, and the Seahawks are good enough to be able to take advantage of that. So we got Bears and Commanders tomorrow. So we'll go ahead and look at the injury report for the Bears, which is Chase Claypool is not playing. He's going to be out tomorrow. Two pretty decent ones here. Actually, no, three. Let me rephrase that. Tevin Jenkins, offensive lineman, he's questionable with a calf injury. Depending on the severity, I mean, we're looking at Joe Burrow the last few weeks with his calf injury, and we're seeing how much of an impact it's having on his play. This is something really worth watching. Even if he does play, the amount of impact that he has is going to be very big. Eddie Jackson and Jalen Johnson being both out in the secondary is big. Eddie Jackson was slated to be a superstar for the Chicago Bears, and he's been injured quite a lot. And Jalen Johnson, same deal. So Bears pretty banged up. I mean, they do have Darnell Mooney back, which is going to ease the loss of Chase Claypool. And if they can get the same type of production out of Cole Kmet this week against the Commanders, it shouldn't matter too much. The biggest thing is, of course, Justin Fields, like which Justin Fields is going to show up tomorrow night, and can the O-line give him enough protection in order for him to go through his reads and make the right decision. So we'll go ahead and scroll down to the Commanders, and right now the only injury they're reporting is Chris Rodriguez Jr. So Commanders very healthy, which is which is why I mean, obviously their performance against the Eagles. I mean, they honestly should have won that game, but coulda, woulda, shoulda in the sports world. But seeing that makes it reasonable to see the line being at what I think 3.5, 4.5, something like that. Right now the spread is okay. So I'm kind of getting ahead of myself here. This is a tool I use called OddsJam, oddsjam.com. You can create an account for free, and you can literally just use it to browse all the sports books for each game and see which ones are giving the best odds for whatever it is that you're looking for money line, for spread, for over under, and if you want to use if you want to learn how to use or not learn how to use, if you want to use like the full force of the site, you can join up and become a paying member. I haven't done that yet just because I'm still fairly new. I'm still feeling this out. I really love the idea that you can look at the sports books here. So if you so these are the top sports books here that are showing. When you're not a paying member, it's limited to what you can see. But I've watched some of the videos on them. Now, I'm not partnered with them or anything like that. I'm not affiliated with them. But they definitely do. They post a lot of content on their YouTube channel, and they have a lot of different contributors who are very knowledgeable, not only in sports, but also knowledgeable on how this site works and the best way to take advantage of sports books and which ones have the best odds. And me personally, I only have 3 accounts right now, sportsbooks accounts that actually have some cash in it, and that's PointsBet, DraftKings, and BetMGM. So you can see here the best one for the money line is plus 225 at Barstool, and then for the Commanders it's cut. I think this is new, minus 236. The spread plus 6, minus 106 on cut. I think, and if you could find plus 6 at minus 106, I think that's a pretty good spread against the Commanders. For Sports Illustrated Sportsbook, you get minus 5.5 at minus 110. And then for the over-under, you got over 44 points, minus 106 on cut. So you can see cut is pretty popular right now. They're being pretty generous. Oh, now it opens up. I clicked this like 3 times. For a second, I thought I remembered you being able to actually see. Oh, well, that's embarrassing. Okay, don't let that be a testament of the site. I was just using it before I recorded this video. I didn't actually click on any of the games, and it was working fine. So I'm going to keep that in there because just for laughs. But anyway, see, this is where you can see literally everything. You can see the best odds for the money line on the Bears. All of them fluctuate. The green is usually what's going to give you. They're like, hey, these are some of the best odds, and then overall best odds is over here on Barstool. And then for the Commanders, same deal, 250, 260. You can see some of these other ones. I'm not sure what Fliff is. Man, it's been a while since I've been on here, so these are a lot of new ones. And the same goes for like the point spread. You can take a look here. You can take a look here for the over/under. So that's how that works. I'm not going to spend too much time going over all of this stuff, but So let me go ahead and back out to the main slate of games here. Let that load. All right, so obviously, seeing how good the Washington, the defense did give up a lot of points, but it was Philadelphia, to be perfectly honest. This is one of those things where I am a little uncomfortable depending on where you get your spread on going with the spread for the Commanders, because you're looking at either minus 5.5 or minus 6 for your best value. If you can get minus 6 or minus 5.5 rather at minus 110, I think that might be worth looking at for the Commanders, because they're very healthy. They've got a great defense. well, defensive line, I should say. Their secondary is coming along. And Sam Howell really shook off that Buffalo game. And if he could have another game like that, and which I don't see why they couldn't. I mean, you look at what Russell Wilson did against the Bears last week in that comeback win. So, honestly, this is just one of those games where it's whichever one you feel most comfortable with. I'm probably not going to bet this one, but if I was like forced to or something like that, I would probably go Bears +6. I would go with them to cover the spread, even with the injuries. But again, I wouldn't. It's a bet I probably honestly would not make because it is pretty close to call. And to be totally honest, you could go either way. I would probably see if I can arbitrage it and see if I could just bet both on two different sports books and, see whichever one gives me the best odds and just be like, oh, okay, all right, won there, lost there, whatever. But because -5.5 is pretty good, +6 isn't bad either. So this could be one of those games where it's a low-scoring affair because, like I said, these are two teams that are doppelgangers. They show up and play different. They've been playing different. You look at the Commanders in Buffalo compared to Commanders against Philly on Sunday in Philly, which is even crazier. It's like night and day. So anyway, going back. All right, so next we got Jags Bills Sunday, October 8th in London. Jaguars are staying in London, and the Bills are having to travel there. This is a game, honestly, if we're going off of just traditional Bills, this is a game the Bills would lose, and not like brutally lose, but like lose like how they lost to the Vikings last year at home. I think what did they lose by, like 2 points or something like that. You could see here the betting lines for the money for Jacksonville. You got +222 on Bookmaker. Same deal with the spread, +6 at -115. This could be one where I would take the spread if I was forced to bet it. -5.5 on Pinnacle at -104 for the Bills is actually not that bad. Let's see. Yeah, but if I would say that it's tempting to take the +6. Obviously, let's go take a look at the injuries. So we got the. Did I pass it? No, here's the Bills. Yeah, Von Miller is practicing today, so he's back. They did lose Tre'Davious White for the season, so that's going to be a pretty big one. They have their rookie Kaiir Elam, who was a healthy scratch this past Sunday, so he's going to be active for the next game and probably getting some playing time. So that is something to keep in mind. And Jacksonville does have some pretty talented players. Let's take a look at their injury report. Right now, they're only having Dwayne Smoot having the practice window open. I know it's only Wednesday, but since there's a Thursday night game tomorrow, I wanted to make this video. So you're not going to get a ton of injury information, but you definitely want to monitor both teams going in. If they're relatively healthy, again, like I said, being traditional Bills doing Bills things, this could be a game that they could either lose or barely win. And I think +6, I think that's a pretty good spread. If you can get a decent odds on +6 for Jaguars, that's something I would consider. Like if you're in a pool and you only have so many teams you can pick from or whatever. Again, probably a game I'm not going to bet, but if I absolutely had to, the +6 is intriguing. I've been burned by the Bills by picking them to win by like 5 or more points, or 5.5 and more points. So, like I said, if there was a game for the Bills to drop when everybody is going to pick them, I would not be surprised if it's this one. All right. Saints Patriots, another game I'm not very interested in. Let's take a look at I keep jumping to odds jam. Let's see, where are the Saints? I don't know why. Am I like? Am I passing it? I guess, or maybe they're just not reporting anything. I don't see them on here. Okay. Well, here's New England. So apparently J.C. Jackson is coming back to New England after the Christian Gonzalez. Oh, wow. I did not know. I thought it was just a dislocated shoulder. Apparently has a torn labrum. Oh, that sucks. He was playing so well. All right. Well, that's why they're trading for J.C. Jackson. And, yeah, that's pretty much the only injury updates there. So again, got to keep an eye on that. I doubt the Saints have nobody to list. There's got to be somebody. Here's the game here. Again, pretty even here. You're getting minus 102 on Golden Nugget. Don't know what that is for the Saints. And then on FanDuel, you got minus 108 for the Patriots. And honestly, the line is like this because of how bad both the Saints and the Patriots played last week. So, again, like I said, this is something I would definitely look at maybe taking the under on points. Yeah. Not gonna. That's pretty much my point. This is a game I would not be interested in. Titans Colts is another interesting one, but again, based off of both teams' performance, you're looking at the Lions being at 1.5, 2 maybe. Again, another game where I would expect it to be under on the points, under 42.5. I think that's pretty fair. That's just a game I'm not interested in. Ravens Steelers. Good rivalry matchup here. I honestly don't mind the Steelers at +4. These games always have a knack for going neck and neck, you know. Even if Pickett is out, I still would lean on them covering the spread. It doesn't look like they've only have signings. Gosh, man. I'd probably have to make a follow-up video as far as injuries go for a lot of these picks. Well, a lot of these games, rather. I'm not officially picking anything yet. This is just an early look at the lines. But right now on Barstool, you got +4. This is another game, 3 in a row, that I would look at taking the under if you're a total points guy. And you've got points bet under 38.5 at -110. That's pretty good. As for money line, you got Circa Vegas and Low Vig. I'm not sure. I've never heard of these. Bet Online, I know. So, yeah, that's my 2 cents there. First look. Panthers Lions. This is one that I am actually looking at, and I'm looking at the Lions on the spread. And you can get that at Circa Vegas -9 at -110. Right now, the most common line I'm seeing is -10, and I honestly think they're gonna hit that. As for total points, if you can get over 44.5, that might be worth looking at. Because Dan Campbell, he's not someone to let off the gas. And after that convincing win in Green Bay, let's see, Austin Corbett is cleared from the team to start practicing. So that's actually a good sign for the Panthers. Their O-line definitely needs the help. Let's see. I don't think the Lions actually have posted anything. That kind of sucks. But I think the Lions are relatively healthy. So yeah, that is one that I'm actually looking at betting, taking -10 or better. So if you can, I don't know, I've never heard of Circa Vegas, but if you can find -9, that's even better. Let's see. All right, next up, we got the Texans and Falcons. I don't know, man. There's 2 weeks in a row that I did not take the Texans, and I was burned by it. That's because of what I saw in Week 1 against Baltimore. And we all know overreaction Monday after Week 1, but I just feel like the teams that they've played have just not been up to caliber, and this is like another one. The Texans are still the dog here at +2 on cut at -106, and man, I'm still hesitant to pull that trigger. I know the Falcons got whooped by the Jaguars in London, but man, I don't know. I don't know. I think by the time I actually come around with my kind of luck, by the time I actually come around and bet on the Texans is the time that they're gonna like take an ass whooping. So this is a game, especially with these lines here, I'm not really interested in. The over under, I think this would be an under 41.5. I think. Over 41 isn't bad either. A cut at minus 106. Again, I'm seeing a lot of cuts. I've never heard of them. If we can take a look at if there's anything to report on injuries right now from either team. The Texans, Titus Howard is going to practice. Kendrick Green is on injured reserve, and I don't know, Cameron Johnson. And they signed Derek Rivers, a defensive end. And yeah, nothing. I don't. Did we see the Colts or not Colts? The Falcons? I don't think so. Yeah, we didn't see them. I know it's alphabetical by city. Anyway, Giants Dolphins. Ooh boy. If you want a game where the Dolphins are going to be feisty and testy after what happened on Sunday against Buffalo, this is it. Barkley will take some reps in teams and practice on Wednesday. Okay, that's big. That is very big. Right now the line is at minus. From what I've seen, it's at 11.5, but FanDuel currently has it at minus 10.5 at minus 110, which is probably the best odds you're going to get. I would definitely take this at minus 10.5. I like that a lot. Based on the performance that we saw on Monday night, the Giants, their season just isn't. It's just they're in a slump right now, and I don't see them beating Miami. I just don't see them keeping up. They may score some touchdowns. This could be like an over 48 game if you can find that. But I honestly expect Miami to win by double digits. So for right now, that is definitely one of my picks. Is going to be the Miami Dolphins on the spread. So Bengals Cardinals, another one that I'm just like, ugh, because I bet the Bengals last weekend. Boy did they look bad. Jesus. And right now they're still the favorite. The Arizona Cardinals, it should be noted that they played against the 49ers, and that should play a factor. I know they lost in the last minute to the New York Giants, but they beat the Cowboys. Come on, y'all. Like, you're giving them dogs at +3. So, I mean, the Bengals should be the ones, should be at the plus at this point after that embarrassing loss to the Titans last week. So, if Arizona can run like with James Conner like they did against, say, like the Giants and even the Cowboys for that matter, they could win this, and that would just be like, I think that could be season ending for the Bengals if they lose to the Cardinals. Gonna be a tough game. It's going to be a tough game. I would take this at under 45.5 as far as points go. Because I am just not convinced of the Bengals at all on offense. Their defense is okay. They've had some flashes, like against the Rams, but they ended up losing anyway. So, I don't know, man. I don't know what to think anymore. Or wait, no, or did they? No, they beat the Rams, right? They beat the Rams. What am I talking about? No, the Rams beat the Colts in the last minute. That's right. Sorry. A brain misfire there. Let's see. Do we have anything from Cincy? I don't think so. No. And who are they playing? Can't even remember these. I can't remember anything. Cardinals. Yeah, just some practice stuff. No injuries to report. So, it's a game that I'm honestly not. I mean, if I was to bet anything, it would probably be the points. And if I could get under 45.5, I would take that. And that's on what, Pinnacle? Yeah. All right. So moving on, we got the Eagles and Rams. This is one that I'm heavy on. The Rams If you can get +5, take that. Take that to the bank. That's one of my main bets this week is the Rams +5 or better. The line, the most common line I've seen is +4.5, but I think if you can find +5 like they do right now on PointsBet, I would take that. I don't know what the injuries right now. I haven't seen anything. They brought Bradley Roby on, which, I mean, I know there's some decent free agent corners right now, but I would definitely not rely on Bradley Roby to change anything. Cooper Kupp has been designated for return to practice. Kupp placed on to start the 23 season, especially if Kupp, dude. Okay, guys, if you're gonna get on that +5, I would get on it now, because if Kupp is going to start, those lines are going to start ripping closer and closer to 3.5, or something like that. So I would definitely jump on +5 for the Rams. I'm telling you. That's going to be one of my bets. I'm probably going to make that as soon as I get off of here. Jets Broncos, just another miserable game. This one, I'm definitely taking the under on the points. Under 40, as high as you can go on the under. just take that and set it and forget it, man. I'm not even going to even bother with the injuries or anything. Chiefs Vikings, this is another game I'm going to be betting, and holy crap, if you can get -4 for the Chiefs against the Vikings, definitely take that. I mean, I know the Chiefs can score points, but man, like, you know, the Chiefs defense ain't that bad. I know they kind of got carved up a little bit by Zach Wilson on Sunday night, but they're not that bad. And the Vikings, they have like nobody on the offensive line, so yeah, I'm definitely taking the Chiefs on the spread here as one of my main picks. So if you can get -4 or better, or I mean, honestly, the line I've seen is -5, but if you can get -4, that's awesome. I might check out Cut after this, man. Cowboys, Niners, Sunday Night Football. I mean, this is just going to be fun to watch. I actually am curious if there's any. No, I don't think so. Yeah, nothing yet. But as far as the spreads go, it looks like it's between 3 and 4. Again, it depends on which Cowboys team shows up, man. If it's the team that played against the Cardinals, this is going to look real ugly if you take the spread, if you take the spread on Dallas. If this is the Dallas team that showed up against the Patriots this past Sunday, that's going to look real good. And the Niners, they're undefeated right now. So I'm leaning that -3 on Bookmaker. I am leaning that -3. But it really depends. We're going to see. I think this game is really where you're going to see how much of an impact losing Trayvon Diggs for the season is going to impact. Because this is probably, as of right now, going to be the best offensive line they've played against. So, and probably one of the better offenses in general that they've played against. So this is a real test for Dallas. And, you know, I would hope that it's a close game. And if that's the case, I mean, this is I honestly don't know if I don't know how comfortable I am, because if it wasn't for that Cardinals game, how bad they played against the Cardinals, I would probably take that +4 spread if I can find it. I don't know what William Hill is, but that is something to watch. At the very least, it'll be entertaining. Packers Raiders. Oh yeah. I'm 110% on the Packers all the way, man. I can't believe that Sports Illustrated is even giving them the dog here. But yeah, no, I am taking the Packers, man, 100%. There are some lines I've seen at -1, like they literally they essentially just have to win the game. That's literally what they do. It's essentially a money line bet. Like even the money line is better than the spread option here, is at -112 on Cut. So you could take like the money line on the Packers easily. It honestly depends on what the spread is. I can honestly at some point later on this week seeing it -110 on the money line and the spread. If you're feeling gutsy and wanting to go -3, that's an option too. Let's see if it'll actually load. Okay, good. Let's see. What? Okay, they only have. So if you have Packers -2, right now it's bet 365 at -110. They don't really have anything else here. So, but that is one of my bets, to be perfectly honest, is definitely the Packers on either the money line or the spread. It depends on which has the better odds, or if you can do -3. If you're feeling gutsy on that, you can do that too, or -2 if you get slightly better odds. But yeah, so that's gonna do it for this video. I may do a recap video if I have time tomorrow, or not tomorrow, Friday after Thursday night football, and then I may do some college. I'm still getting used to college. I may do a college video on Friday as well. I'm going to be out of town, which sucks this weekend, so I can't do anything on Saturday. So I may have to do like all of my videos on Friday, which is going to take up most of my time. Anyway, thanks so much for watching. Don't forget to hit like, subscribe if you want more, comment. Let me know what your bets are looking like this week. And don't forget to check out oddsjam.com. And again, not partnered or affiliated with them at all. I would have said so at the beginning, whatever. I just really like the fact that you can browse all of the lines in one spot without having to go across to every single sports book. So, and they update it daily. Okay, they've put a lot of work into this site, especially the layout. The layout is totally different from when I first used it. Anyway, I'll catch you all later. Take care.